Hello everyone, I'm Grego, and this is the Yes We're Open podcast. Today I'm just north of downtown Regina, Saskatchewan, in a neighborhood known as the Warehouse District, located between Albert and Winnipeg Streets along the CP rail yard and up to 4th Avenue. Originally developed in the early 20th century, this area was home to the city's booming rail and grain industries, characterized by red brick buildings with wide avenues and industrial architecture. These historic warehouses once served as hubs for commerce and storage. In the past few decades, they've been revitalized and repurposed into trendy lofts, offices, restaurants, boutiques, and breweries, breathing new life into the neighborhood. It's also a gathering place for street festivals, night markets, and food truck rallies. It has become one of Regina's most dynamic and sought-after areas, a place where entrepreneurs and creatives thrive. I'm headed to one of those boutique businesses right now. They're the subject of this week's story, BasketCases.
This is my daughter, Brinley.
That's Ashley, the owner. She introduces me to her daughter, Brinley. They're the only two occupants of the store this morning. BasketCases is closed on Mondays, but Ashley made an exception so we can meet without interruption. She shows me around her shop. It features shelves and shelves of all sorts of products you might find in a gift basket, from chocolates to candles, soaps, essential oils, sauces, coffee, stuffed animals, jewelry, you name it. If you can picture it in a gift basket, Ashley probably has it in her shop, or she can get it for you. And of course, Ashley also has baskets of all shapes and sizes. There's a lot to take in. You can easily spend a few hours in her shop just browsing the products. There are very few well-known brand names. Most of the products are artisan, and many are local.
I try and focus on Canadian brands. That's one thing that I have done since the beginning, not just in the past 2 months.
So you're doing it before it was cool.
Yeah.
You can tell Ashley takes great care in curating the products she brings into her store. After the tour is done, Ashley and I sit down for her interview.
Hi, my name is Ashley Donald, and I am the owner of BasketCases. You could call me the chief basket case.
Amazing. When did BasketCases open?
Originally, I'm going to say either 1984 or 1985.
So you're not the original owner?
I am not the original owner. I was a client. I was working at a job and I was the admin assistant at that job. And so one of my jobs was to find gifts for our employees or our clients. I knew of BasketCases previously, and so that I knew where to find a gift basket. But I'll even actually go back. When my husband and I got married, we actually bought gift baskets from BasketCases to give to some of our vendors. And that was 17 years ago that we got married. So I've known of BasketCases for quite a long time. The previous owner, the lady who I bought it from, she had actually posted it on Facebook, and I came across her post and I went, that's interesting. And I put it in the back of my mind. And I came home that night and I told my husband, because he knows her too.
Okay.
And he knows of BasketCases. And so I just casually mentioned to him, BasketCases is for sale. And then it got me thinking, could I buy it? Could I make it work? Could I run a business? All those things.
You didn't have any business experience before that?
Not running a business. I have some schooling for business, but I've worked in a bank. I've worked in a call center. I've worked as an admin assistant. I have worked in retail before. So I was able to bring all those things together and use all of that experience for running a business. BasketCases is a gift basket and gift store. We offer individual gifts, or you can pick up a gift basket, or you can make your own. You can put things in a basket and we can wrap it up for you. We are the original gift basket store in Regina.
How long have you been in Regina?
I'm not going to say my age.
Okay. Are you originally from Regina? That's probably what I should ask.
Yes, born and raised. I've never left. So I went to elementary school, high school, college, that sort of thing.
So this city is your home?
It is.
How quickly from the idea being planted in your head to actually buying the business, how long did that take?
It was really quick.
Yeah.
I'm going to say February or March of 2019. I found out it was for sale and started talking to her within 2 weeks. And by June, I had financing to buy it.
Okay. June 2019.
Yeah. So when I gave notice to the company that I didn't give them a lot of notice, which I felt bad for at the time, but it was the way all the pieces were put together. And so I literally gave notice the day that I got my financing approved. And I think it was less than 2 weeks before there was nothing I could do. It was out of my hands to be able to do it. The woman that I purchased it from, she was moving. So it was just all these pieces that needed to be put together. But yeah, not so much my colleagues or people that I know in this city, because I'm born and raised in Regina. I know a lot of people. And not so much, what are you doing? But it's more like, how are you gonna make a living? Really? Is that really viable? And in a way, it made me go, yes, it is. And not having any idea that it was.
Right, okay.
Prior to the woman that I bought it from, the prior owner, her name was Sandy Ryan. And Sandy Ryan has a very close connection to my husband's family.
Okay.
And when I was seriously considering BasketCases, I actually called Sandy because she had owned BasketCases for, I think, 12 years.
Okay.
And I thought that was really cool to be able to reach out to a previous owner of the business. And the first thing she said to me was, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was she happy to hear that it might come back into the family?
Yeah. Like that made it really special and we're not family. We're just they have a connection of close friendship. And yeah, I thought it was really cool. My husband's family thought it was really cool. So yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Brinley Donald, and I help my mom with anything she needs around the store.
When your mom first started talking about buying a business, what did you think?
I don't really remember what I thought. I feel like I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah?
That my mom would own a business, and our whole family would be a part of it to help her and all that stuff.
How'd that first year go?
I'm going to say the first 6 months.
Okay.
So
Because we know what's coming.
we absolutely do know what's coming.
June 2019
Yeah.
is when you bought possession. We know what's coming 6 months.
So we didn't know what was coming.
Now we do. Okay.
So yeah, the first 6 months, you don't know what to expect. So when you have no expectation, every month is good.
Yeah.
You start at zero and you go, oh, wow, I made some sales, Going into Christmas that year, I was very unprepared in the volume.
It's Christmas time.
It's Christmas time, yes.
That's
yeah, I've worked in retail before at Christmas time. It was one of my favorite times to work. But I was on the other side of it.
Sure.
I was just helping the customers. I wasn't ordering the stock, filling the shelves, anything like that.
How many employees do you have?
None.
So it's just you.
It's just me. So I wear all the hats. So yeah, I mean, that Christmas, my shelves were empty because I didn't order enough. I was getting in the orders, but I wasn't getting in enough stock to be able to fulfill the orders. But I got it all done. It was a successful year, a successful 6 months. But I always say when I'm in a job, you have to be in a job for a year to know everything that goes on, because seasons change, there's different events, different things within a business, and you have to be in it a year. Back in 2006, BasketCases was near this location now. It was on the corner of 7th and Broad. And it had stayed there for 10 years. So people knew of the name, just driving down Broad Street, seeing the sign, that sort of thing. And so when I bought it in June of 2019, I wanted to bring it back to somewhere where it's familiar to people. So that's why I picked this location for it. The warehouse district in Regina is full of history and full of life for our city. It's almost a one-stop shop.
Today, do you have any employees, or is it still just you?
Still just me.
Uh-huh.
I mean, my family helps me out a lot. My mom would come in at Christmas to help me out when she could. So that was really helpful. My husband, he helps me out. My kids help me out.
What's your favorite part of helping out around here?
I definitely like delivering baskets to people. And, well, I just got my license, so I like driving around a lot. And I can take my friends with me, and we just go deliver baskets and see people and stuff like that.
Perfect.
When I do need help, I can call on people to help me, for sure. I still have people that come in here after me being here for 5.5 years, and they go, "Oh, when did you open?" And I say, "Oh, 5.5 years ago." "Oh, where have I been?"
Overnight success.
Yeah, and I get it. People are busy, but if they could just take one Saturday afternoon and go to a business that they've never gone to before would help immensely with every small business.
That's some great advice. Up next, Ashley was off to a promising start as the new owner of BasketCases. But the honeymoon period would end pretty quickly with what was coming next in 2020. How did she cope? Let's find out. You're listening to Yes, We Were Open. Ashley Donald went from loyal customer to the owner of BasketCases in June of 2019, moving it back to Regina's warehouse district. The business seemed like a perfect fit for her, but she couldn't know that the next few years would be the most challenging for even the most experienced business owners. What were those challenges? How did she overcome them? Let's have a listen. We got to talk about it, right?
For sure.
March 2020.
Yep.
No one knew this was coming, and then it came.
Yep.
Everyone got sent home. Lockdowns happened. You're a brand new business owner. You still have probably loans to pay. And although no employees to pay or layoffs, so that's a positive, I guess.
Yep.
How did you take that?
Panic at first. We all panicked, right? Yeah. We didn't know what was going to happen. Like, I just went with the flow. Yes, I had to shut down, but I could still come in the store. I just couldn't have customers come in the store. Right. So luckily, I already had a website that had been accepting orders. And so when those orders would come in, I could still come in here. I could still make the basket. I could still deliver it. I could still have them come pick it up. I was very fortunate to be able to fulfill those orders for customers. I had learned from Christmas of that year that I didn't have enough stock. So I started ordering in January, in February, and it started coming in. So then March comes and I have stock and I have orders coming in. There were times where I would have to say to a customer, I just don't have that product and I can't source it right now. Can I offer you something different? And so that was not a problem because we were all in the same boat. Yeah. Everyone knew that there were supply chain issues, so it didn't matter. Did you see the shift? Because you said you already had online sales. And I'm sure during the pandemic, if maybe your business was 80% in-store, 20% online, it was probably closer to 50-50, if not weighted to online, right? Yes.
Did you see that happen with your business?
Yes, definitely.
Has it stayed that way, or has it gone back, or what would you say it is right now?
I would say it's about half and half. Like, it's still 50-50. Okay. Whether people come in or phone, or if they go online.
That's not bad. I mean, a lot of businesses can't do that. So the fact you were able to do that probably helped you during the pandemic. Absolutely it did, especially because my husband was laid off. And so that was really tough. But yeah, going back to what you said, like I still had loans and that sort of thing. I tried to apply for the government loans. Brand new. I was brand new and I didn't have any employees. So none of the business supports applied to me.
we had to do what we had to do. Yes, there was uncertainty, but what could have you done differently? Nothing. One struggle that I have had is marketing, advertising, social media. And this isn't just my opinion, but a lot of business owners, we feel like there's lots of advertising or marketing companies that almost prey on small business owners and our lack of experience in it. Yeah. As small business owners, we do really good at customer service. We do really good at, merchandising or selling or that sort of thing. But when it comes to that advertising and marketing, it is really expensive and we are not experts in it. And so there's companies that we find that like almost prey on small business owners of not knowing. Yeah. And so one of the things that I did, and I just actually did this recently, was I took a social media marketing bootcamp course. Okay. I always look at my struggles and be like, what can I do to change how I feel about this? So what I wanted to do was I wanted to get more experience and knowledge about it. And so then if I did want to reach out to a marketing agency or advertising, I would at least have some knowledge as to what not to do. And then the other one that I would say is payment processor. Again, it's in the same realm. Like there are so many third-party payment processors that prey on small business owners, and they promise them all these rates and how it looks very easy as far as what they're going to charge you. Yeah. And then you get your bill and everything's fine, but then they start going up and up. And so I think I've gone through 4 payment processors, and trying to get out of those contracts is very difficult. Yeah. And that was a huge struggle until my very last one.
And they would be?
Moneris.
Oh. I swear to God, I did not ask that question.
No, you didn't. And
it was not a leading question.
No, it absolutely wasn't. But as small business owners, we get calls every day of these payment processors, and they're just let us send you a quote, blah, 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 blah. And so I started to think about what they were actually saying. And they would throw out these names of payment processors. And the one name that never came up was Moneris. So I was like, I'm going to reach out to Moneris, and they're the ones that don't. Because they don't charge extra fees, and they say what they're actually going to do and not increase fees upon fees of like, it was amazing. Anyway, no, you did not ask that at all, but it was a struggle for 4 years.
Let's talk about inflation, because inflation for the last few seasons has been the big story.
Yeah, it's definitely affected like my business and the products that I buy. I do use suppliers that they're a gift basket supplier. So they carry gift baskets and they carry all the different gourmet snack items. But yeah, their prices went up pretty significantly. And if I was looking at this particular box of cracker and it went up $2, I had to look at alternatives, because can I pass that on to my customer? Because it's not just one box of crackers, but it's the box of cookies and the box of pretzels. And so it's everything in that basket went up $2. Yeah, it's been tough.
Did you find in general your customers were understanding?
I think so, because they see like we're trying to provide the best possible price with the product, or product with the price, I guess. But everything has gone up. And so when, you look at a gift basket and that gift basket was $40, the other thing is like when I bought the business 5.5 years ago, I have slowly started to look at, does this basket of $40 look like a $40 basket? Or does it look like a $60 basket? Or can I make it look better and the customer is still happy? Yeah. So perception is a big thing when you're looking at a gift, right? Yeah.
With the tariff threats that are coming up from the U.S., we're looking at probably more inflation.
Yeah.
How's that affecting you now, or how do you see that is going to affect you in the future?
I think it will. I think I'm going to see, again, that box of crackers that went up by $2, it's going to go up by $2 again. Regardless of what is being tariffed, everyone needs a cut.
Yeah.
And so it's going to happen again. I can see it. When we think of a product, we're just looking at the product. We're not thinking that costs fuel, that costs energy to make that product. So it's not just we're looking at product A and saying, oh, this is a $2 product. There is a lot that goes in to make that product. So, and I'm not trying to sound like a Debbie Downer or anything, but like we went through inflation and it's going to happen again, unfortunately.
You're seeing the shop Canadian movement. Is that something you're seeing more of?
I have always tried to find Canadian products. What I am seeing is just in the past couple months, it has actually been easier to find those Canadian products. I don't know, the algorithms of social media have pushed them to the forefront.
Sure.
What I actually found was when I first bought Basket Cases is I didn't have a lot of Saskatchewan products and people were really looking for those.
Yeah.
And Saskatchewan products are a little bit harder for what I need. Now it's getting easier. Yeah. And that's amazing because it hasn't been that long.
You could be at the forefront of creating new markets for these products.
And it's good for everyone. Like, it's good for the country, it's good for the province, it's good for the city.
Coming up after the break, we find out what the future holds for Basket Cases. Welcome back to Yes, We Are Open. It's been 5 years since Ashley Donald bought Basket Cases. And through all the ups and downs, she still seems optimistic about her business. And why not, after everything she's endured? So what does the future hold for Basket Cases? Let's find out. Let's talk about the future outlook for Basket Cases.
I think it's going to be better than ever. I'm really enjoying finding those Canadian products, bringing them in, and bringing different things in that no one else has or that just a few people have. It's good for me because I can bring in customers that are looking for those products, and it's good for the people that are producing those products because their products are being seen by more people.
Basket Cases is a great brand.
It is.
Are there any thoughts of maybe expansion?
I would love to, but that would require being busier. Yeah, I'm not expanding because I don't want to. Right. If I was busier,
Or franchising or buying maybe another gift basket business and rebranding.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's the original gift basket store in Regina. I would love it if it was bigger. But at the same time, one of my absolute favorite things is when I have a customer in the store and we can talk like we're talking right now. And I really get to know them, even though I've never met them before. To me, that's the best thing about this job is just to meet people and hear their stories. You don't get that anywhere else.
What does your husband think of the business?
He is my biggest cheerleader. He is amazed that I own a business, not because he didn't think I could. He is just risk adverse.
Sure.
Like I said, he is my biggest cheerleader. We talk about the business. I'm able to come home and bounce ideas off of him. What do you think about this? Or should I change this? And to get that perspective is priceless.
You only have one kid?
No, I actually have three.
Three, okay. So what do your kids think of mom's business?
They are very proud of me. They will go to school and be like, yeah, my mom owns a store. Like they think it's pretty cool. They might not be here every day. They might not see the everyday ins and outs, but when I am doing bookkeeping at home or preparing for taxes or whatnot, and they ask me, Mom, what are you doing? They see it. And I don't know if my kids want to take on Basket Cases when I'm done. That would be the hope, but if not, that's okay too.
Before your mom did this, did you ever think you might want to start your own business or own your own business? What did you think you were going to do when you grew up?
I don't really know, but now that she has the business, I've been, like, all the time I get just random thoughts about helping her out when I'm older and taking it over when she can't work anymore, and just, like, following in her footsteps.
Entrepreneurial parents generally raise entrepreneurial kids. You don't know it, but they're watching.
Absolutely.
They're soaking it in. Looking back at what you've done with the company so far, how do you feel?
I am pretty proud of myself. I look back to when I was a teenager, and I think there's lots of us that'll be like, oh, it would be so cool to own my own business when I'm older. And I had that, never knowing what I wanted it to be, not knowing what I had to offer, but having that dream of owning your own business because it was so cool.
I feel really proud of her, and it's really nice to, like, talk to my friends about it. And I always say, like, oh yeah, my mom owns a store, like I have to go do deliveries for her and all this stuff, and they ask me, like, all about it. I get to tell them, and yeah, it's really cool, to be honest.
Even when I saw that Facebook post that she was selling the business, I put it in the back of my mind because I was like, I could never afford it, or I could never do it, or I have such a good job right now. My plan was to stay there until I retired. Right. There was never a thought to leave that job. It was so good. And so it went in the back of my head. And then it started going, maybe you could afford it. Let's just see how much it costs. Right. Let's see. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm pretty proud.
Is Basket Cases open?
Yes, we are open! And we deliver.
That's the story of Basket Cases. It's amazing how contagious the entrepreneurial spirit can be. That's sort of the point of this podcast, to inspire it in others. I found this week's story particularly inspiring. There are thousands of motivational quotes about the entrepreneurial spirit, but one that sticks in my head this week was not about starting a business. It was about faith. The quote was by Martin Luther King Jr. He said, "You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step." The quote is often used to encourage action and emphasize they don't need to know the entire plan or outcome to begin something. Ashley took that first step, and while she may have had a plan, she couldn't have guessed what was just around the corner for her business. But she persevered and pushed through. She made mistakes and learned from them. And what of the outcome? It seems Ashley has made herself a fixture in her little corner of Regina's warehouse district for years to come. And the entrepreneurial spirit that has been instilled in her children, well, that's a gift that'll just keep on giving. Yes, We Were Open is a Moneris podcast production. I'd like to thank Brinley and Ashley for taking the time to share their story. You can learn more about Basket Cases at basketcases.ca. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn at BasketCasesCA. For more information about this podcast, visit our site, yesweareopenpodcast.com. If you'd like to support us, rate us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. If you're a Canadian small business owner or know of one with an interesting story of perseverance to tell, I'd love to help tell it. You can contact me at podcast@moneris.com. Tune in next week for another story of small business struggle and survival on the Yes We Are Open podcast. I'm Grego. Thank you for listening.